Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Jim Rohn. That's what I push here every day, 10 to 15 minutes. If you will spend it learning how to chart these markets and get the experience through time starting now, don't worry about when you master this. You can easily make up for the money. It's the time you have to spend to learn how to do it. And once you get good at this, my friends, the world is your oyster. Now, Patreon friends, we sent out to you yesterday the charting crypto with the new charts over at Kraken. I actually found a price percent oscillator chart, and we started charting the 3-day on lots of cryptocurrencies. We showed you that, what was it, 26% gain in Cardano? I again, look at it, study it, see what we're talking about, get some idea, because we're going to get busy on these cryptos going forward. Speaking of cryptocurrencies, look at where we are on Bitcoin. This is New York Stock Exchange Bitcoin Index. It is different than various things that you might see like crypto exchanges where the prices can differ a little bit. What they do here at the New York Stock Exchange is they have their own procedures for how they value Bitcoin. What did they see it did today? Up 3%. If we look at Grayscale Bitcoin, this is a trust. They own Bitcoin, priced a little differently at 3.57% up. Ethereum up 3% on the Grayscale Ethereum. Now, when we look at what Bitcoin is up to, we've seen how it's dropped since it made its high back in November, and then came down, slid sideways for a couple of weeks. It's gone down again. It's sliding sideways, slowing down in the down movement, but still lots of downward pressure. Price percent oscillator still heading down. The derivative oscillator for the first time in many weeks, well, second time in many weeks. Well, it's hard for me to see. Yeah, it's sort of flattened last week. This week, it's losing downward momentum. So we have a green solid candle, the opposite of a green open box. This is a slowdown in the down movement. Open box green candles are strong upward movement. And when we see a red open box candle, that's a slowdown in the strong upward movement. So it's important to understand your Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. If you haven't taken our Heikin-Ashi training, you need to do so. It is very, very good. Now, we again are seeing some slowdown in the down movement, but still lots of downward pressure in Bitcoin. Look at the 2-day. This is where you can really see that sideways slide underway. Price percent oscillators trying to head up. It's getting closer to the red signal line. We see the derivative oscillator's been losing downward momentum for a few days. It did that before, then accelerated again. Hopefully, we'll see a crossover going up on the 2-day, which may, in the not too distant future, lead to a crossover on the weekly. I would love to see that happen. Love to see that happen. But right now, we still have downward pressure at the best, sliding sideways as far as price movement goes. We look at the half day, and again, trying to recover to somewhere, where it was back last week, trying to get back up to there. Price percent oscillator is heading up. Derivative oscillator's green. It had been losing momentum. It's trying to gain some. So again, we're keeping our eye on the crypto space, but we still have lots of downward pressure on it. Now let's look at stocks. Lots of downward pressure there. The nice thing about stocks is we have options, don't we? We have literal stock options. We also have inverse funds like SH, which actually goes up when the S&P goes down. How many of you guys been practice trading that since we had that 2-day recross going down? Look at how it's working out, looking quite nice. You can see the price is lower. That is because, again, this is an inverse fund. It's not priced the same as the underlying ETF. What does it do? It's set up with derivatives to track percentage-wise the price change that you see in the underlying index, SPY. So what do we see going on? We see the price percent oscillator spiking down, derivative oscillator heading down, big red candle going down, down again for the day, 1.11%. Look at that 2-day, just hammering down first day of the latest 2-day candle, derivative oscillator, price percent oscillator. And we just see things again continuing to move down on the half day, had flattened out and then spiked down in the afternoon. So lots of strong downward pressure. Our 2-day recross was a great jumping in point for the rollover. How long will this deleveraging occur? Are all the good days gone? I can't tell you that. All it would take is what? The Fed to back off. Some monetary tightening, say they're going to print more money, COVID's going to go on even longer, and boom, add liquidity to the market. What is that? That is dollars backed by nothing. That is borrowing from the future to run the market up for today. Is that going to happen anymore? I don't know, friends. All I know is right now, we're doing well looking at this down move for as long as it continues. Same in the NASDAQ 100, down for the day 1.3. Let me move back there. 1.30%. Again, big red down candle forming. Price percent oscillator, derivative oscillator heading down on the weekly 2-day. Same thing, first day of this latest 2-day candle spiking down. And we look at the half day, same kind of thing. Again, we see down movement for a day and a half, sideways slide for half a day, down movement for a day, sideways slide for half a day, down for half a day, sideways for half a day, and then down again hard. So still lots of downward pressure. That 2-day recross on the Qs treating us particularly well. If you shorted the Qs on something like PSQ, which is a single short, again, things to learn about using these types of funds, ETFs, because they do have higher expense ratios. They're typically revalued very often, daily. And then what happens? You know, it gets revalued. Again, it's not something you necessarily look at. Well, you don't look at holding on to it for a long time, but it can be beautiful when you know which way the market is going. So that is where we are on stocks and Bitcoin. Still lots more downward pressure on stocks than Bitcoin, but both of them have downward pressure. What about bonds? Downward pressure there. They revived a little bit for the day, up just a little over 0.5% at 0.62%. But look at those strong red down candles, price percent oscillator, derivative oscillator hammering down. Of course, we are looking at that weekly vertical crossover that we had. Let me go back to that, show you. That occurred back on the week ending the 7th of January. And of course, things have been pushing down since then. We look at the 2-day chart, we can see the first day of this latest 2-day candles, a slowdown in the down movement. We had had a really strong 2-day candle for the Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, the 18th and 19th. Slowing down some, price still below the 2-day, price percent oscillator still heading down. Derivative oscillator has been losing downward momentum ever since we had that sideways slide and then push up for 2 days on Wednesday the 12th and Thursday the 13th of last week, and then things resume. So we'll keep our eye on bonds. We can see on the half day where things flipped over just in the afternoon heading up, but still overall on bonds, lots of downward pressure still there. That 2-day recross running its course. What about gold? After some strong up movement through the week on gold here on Thursday, we see it pulling back a little bit down 0.25%. Not much. Price percent oscillator still spiking up. Derivative oscillator heading up. Big green candle for the week. 2-day, nice green candle starting off. Price percent oscillator flattening a little bit. Derivative oscillator heading up. Half day. We can see where gold is up in the morning and then lost a little luster in the afternoon, dropping out of that half-day trend line. Price still well above the 2-day and the weekly. Keep going, gold. I'm betting on you. And we've already covered Bitcoin for you. Folks, that's where we are as we move into the last day of this shortened trading week. Remember, we started the week off with Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. That seems like an age ago. But We'll continue to be with you. Patreon members, I just sent out to you the 20 weekly vertical crossovers for the week. Get this, only 2 up, 18 down. Shows you how much downward pressure is on the market. That's where we are, folks. God bless, my friends. You want to know more about Patreon membership? Follow the link in the show notes. Be sure to subscribe. Also give us a thumbs up if you're listening to us, watching us on YouTube. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World headquarters.